Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Janelle Van. I am coming to you from Tampa, Florida, sunny and beautiful here. Joining me today on the webinar is Lisa Ginsburg from the Bucks County Association of Realtors. She is the Director of Education. Lisa, do you want to say hello?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And we're pleased that you're joining us with our partnership with RPR, and we're very excited to see all the great information that's going to be shared by them. Before we begin, I do want to introduce one of BCAR's affiliate members, Mike Kono, who is the area manager for the First American Home Warranty Company. And Mike has a few important pieces of information to share with everyone. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Janelle.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Janelle. Thanks, Lisa. I'm going to share my screen real quickly here. At least I'm going to try. All right. So I will be real quick. First of all, the little QR code, if anybody's got, if they're watching on a computer and they've got their phone, if you click on the QR code, it will take you to my V card, which is this pretty cool interactive card that that the company made for us, that you can find stuff like, you can always find links to our current brochure. There's also videos and stuff on how to place an order, how to place a claim. So all kinds of information on that V card, as well as my email and phone number. So if you do get a chance to grab that, please do. A little bit about me and First American. I've been the area manager here for Greater Philadelphia and New Jersey for about 6 years now. First American, we're the same company as First American Finance, First American Title. So, we're a huge company. We have deep pockets that we have money in reserves to pay claims for your customers, which is, I think that's important that when you're choosing a home warranty company, that you're going with a company that, has been around. We've been around going on 40 years in the warranty business. We've got a good reputation in this area for home warranty. Just to tell you a little bit about warranties, if you don't know a lot about warranties, first of all, please reach out to me, because I'd love to talk to you and teach you a little bit more about warranties and how some of my top producing agents are using them in their businesses every day to help grow their businesses and help their clients to be happy and protected when they're buying and selling properties. We do offer complimentary sellers coverage. So when you put a listing on the market and you decide to offer a home warranty along with that listing, some items are covered during the listing period at no additional cost for the seller. So that's a great benefit. And a few things that set us apart from our competitors. We don't have any dollar limit on HVAC if it's gas or electric. So, if it's something that we can't repair and we have to replace it, we're going to replace it with a system that's rated for the same BTUs or same square footage as what's in the house. There's no dollar limit. I've got competitors that caps out at like $2,200 or something like that. So they're not going to really get a full replacement unit for $2,200. We also don't have any dollar limit on refrigerant. One of my competitors limits that to $10 a pound on replacement refrigerant, and that's about $70 to $100 a pound. So that's pretty significant if you're talking about a system that's low on refrigerant. When the tech comes out, that could save them $300 or $400 right there on a claim. We also have pretty robust coverage on our appliances. We offer up to $3,500 per appliance. So that might not get them a Sub-Zero. That'll get them, a long way towards, putting that towards a Sub-Zero refrigerator. And most refrigerators and appliances, you're going to be able to get something pretty nice for $3,500. So they're going to get it replaced with something that is of equal value to what they have, currently. And then one final thing is that my company does a little bit differently. We have a dedicated claims manager that is assigned just to me and one other area manager. And all she does is handle any expedited claims that we have. And this could be anything to where, the tech doesn't show up when they're supposed to, they sent out the wrong part, whatever, anything that starts to go sideways on a claim. I can get my claims manager, Gloria, involved. She takes ownership of that claim and she'll be the only one with the company at that point that really is handling the claim and communicating back and forth with the homeowner and the contractor. So that really helps out. In home warranty, there is a lot of areas where, you're putting a big call center between a homeowner and a contractor. So there's places that the claim can get delayed and there can be issues. So having that dedicated claims manager really helps me get claims back on track if something starts to go sideways with a claim. So those are just some things to think about that make my company a little bit different. Of course, my info's there. Anybody has any questions, if you want to have your clients reach out to me directly, I'm happy to have a conversation with a buyer or seller and give them a sort of a warranty 101 conversation. So let me know. I'm here. Happy to help with home warranty. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, Mike. I sure wish I had had my home warranty last week when my dishwasher broke in the middle of a festival. So yeah, it's great information. I didn't know that you guys offered all that. So that is excellent. Thank you for that info. And I'm going to go ahead and start with our RPR portion of the presentation. But Mike will be backing me up today. So if you do think of any questions throughout today's webinar, feel free to go ahead and send them his way in the Q&A. All right, so like I said, my name is Janelle Van. I'm in Tampa. We are going to run this webinar for about an hour, and I'm going to walk you through a whole bunch of cool marketing strategies that you can find within RPR. So let's go ahead and get started. It looks like we have about 26 folks here today, which is exciting. So let's just test out the chat real quick. So if I ask you a question, send me a response in the chat. Let me know you can all hear me. Let me know, maybe you guys are Eagles fans and you had a really exciting day. Let me know in the chat how you all are doing, that you can hear me okay, so that I know we are good to go. Stanley says we can hear you. Andrew's here. Perfect. All right, so lots to go over today. Looks like we're in good shape here with the volume. Jessica says she's doing good, so perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our presentation. Market yourself like a pro with RPR. So what is RPR? In the chat, how many of y'all are familiar? Oh, there's that Florida accent just came out. I'm originally from Boston, been with RPR about a year now, and the webinars that I tend to run, sometimes people will hear that little bit of New England accent. So how many of you have some experience working with RPR? Let me know in the chat. Stanley says he uses it some. Well, hopefully today, you're going to take away some really cool things for you to use with your real estate profession. There's some great reports, CMAs, all kinds of cool tools in there. Today, we're just going to focus on some marketing strategies. So what is RPR? RPR is NAR's technology company. We are a wholly owned subsidiary corporation. We are a national database of parcel-centric property information with over 166 million US properties. Now, what I really love to share with you all is that this is exclusively for realtors. No additional charges. You're never going to be on RPR and get a pop-up that says, oh, upgrade your subscription. None of that's going to happen. With RPR, it's all included as part of your NAR subscription. There is no consumer or public access. So this is just a value-added technological resource for you to use and to implement in your real estate profession. So that's a little bit about who we are. How does this fit into your business model? Now, a lot of you think, well, I have the MLS, I have NAR, I have the state and local real estate board. Where does RPR fit in all of that? Well, what we want you to do is think about RPR as to be used in combination with all of these other resources. We know you have your MLS. RPR offers some fantastic reports, lots of public record data information. We basically want you to look at this diagram and try to think of it as a way for you to incorporate all of these resources as you navigate your real estate business. So just look at it, RPR, as an extra tool that maybe your competition isn't aware of. And it's going to give you lots of opportunities to do some real customized reporting and things like that. All right, so let's talk about our agenda today. We've got about an hour to work together. We are going to look at neighborhood demographics. I'm going to show you how to research market area activity. Going to look at some just listed and just sold. I am really, the meat of this class for me is how to market to homeowners. I'm going to show you how to maybe find off-market properties who might be interested in selling and how you can reach out to them, show you how to maybe print some labels and things like that. Looking for those unlisted potentials. Perhaps you're working with a buyer and you can't find them a house. I'm going to show you how to tap into the RPR data and see if you can find them a good match. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and shut my camera off. Ernie says you don't see the screen. Let's see. Try that one more time. Thank you, Ernie, for letting me know. That is what I was going to say. Let's see, go back here. There is our Venn diagram. If you missed that, our screen sharing wasn't up. You can see that that's where RPR fits. You've got your MLS, your National Association of Realtors, your community of realtors. Ernie, can you see my screen now okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you about that. Your community of real estate agents. We are in a unique profession where we are relying on our competition to work together to close transactions. So just take a look at that little Venn diagram and think that we want you to implement all of these resources to help you grow your business. So we've gone ahead and talked about our agenda, and now we're going to launch right into our presentation. I'm going to go ahead and shut my camera off real quick so you can focus on our RPR resources. And here we go. All right, so you're looking at your home page now. For those of you who have already gone in and set yourself up with RPR, great. If you have not, this is where I want you kind of to take a little homework assignment away from today's presentation and just click on your photo. That's not me, but this is a test site. Just do the little drop down arrow and click on profile right here. And make sure that you've uploaded your photo, your logo, and also your MLS information. If you've got your MLS already uploaded or connected to your RPR site, then you're in good shape. But if not, just take a few moments and get in there and upload your MLS or sync up your MLS to the RPR site. So just take a few moments to take care of that. All right, let's go back out to our homepage. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to spend a lot of time researching neighborhoods. I'm going to show you how to do some reports. I am going to spend some significant amount of time searching for off-property inventory, things that maybe were expired or maybe homeowners that have been in their house a longer period of time, and show you some ways to search for those folks and then maybe even reach out to them. So we're going to start off on our homepage. And as you see down here, what we're looking at is the My Markets page. Now, you can customize this any way you want. I did some research. One of my favorite parts of this job is that because we are training agents all over the country, I get to research new inventory in different markets. And so I spent some time in Pennsylvania over the weekend researching some inventory. And I wanted you to know that under your My Markets tab, you can go ahead and add markets. You can edit it. You can see here, I've got, I think I'm going to say it right, Chalfont, Pennsylvania. Last week I was in Omaha, Nebraska. So whatever you want on your home page, you can simply click on that little add tab and it will take you over here under your My Markets. And then you can type in a neighborhood, a city, a state, or a zip code, and you can save that to your home page. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now because I've already got myself set up with Chalfont, Pennsylvania. Forgive me if I'm saying it incorrectly. All right, so the first thing we want to do is talk to you about research. You see these tabs at the top. We're going to spend some time over here in reports, but I want to talk to you about research. If you're in real estate, it's ever important that you are identifying your market area and that you're doing as much research in your subject area as possible. So the research tab, I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to go in and research a neighborhood. Let's take a look real quick. Oh, thank you, Mary. Mary says I'm saying it right. Good. That's good to know. All right. So research, we're going to go in and start off with our neighborhood search right here, neighborhood search. Now here, I can go in and type in Bucks County if I want to, or I can go ahead and if I do that, I can do a neighborhood search. I'll show you real quick what that's going to look like. Click on it. And it's going to give me an overview of what's happening in all of Bucks County. I can see here the median estimated value, the price changes, the 12-month change. I can go over here and click on the map and take a look at that. I'm going to scroll down, try to go slow so that I don't hurt your eyes as I'm scrolling. I can see here the green line under Bucks County, and the price trends have certainly gone up. Also all of Pennsylvania, and then it compares it to the entire country. I've got an all year here, but I could even just go back 1 year if I want, and it will adjust. And again, I can see that the Bucks County trend is slightly above the national average. Looks like your home prices are steadily rising. So in the chat, let me know what's your inventory like. Are you guys, wherever you're working, are you in a low inventory market or are you in a high inventory market? Let me know in the chat. Anybody out there? Very low, Stanley. Thank you, Stanley. I seem to be able to count on you for giving me some responses. Okay, Jessica says it's low, slightly up from the summer. Okay. All right, that's pretty standard. In Tampa, where I'm at, houses are barely even hitting the market. They are flying. I've been in real estate almost 30 years, and I've never seen anything quite like it. The inventory is super low. So what I want you to do is kind of think of the RPR system as a way for you to not only do some significant research, but also maybe go in and dive into those homes or neighborhoods where the properties haven't hit the market yet. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a little bit. So going back down to Bucks County, I can see the nearby neighborhoods that are nearby, and I can click on all of these different counties, and I can do the same thing. I can look at all of this data here. I can see median sales price versus sales volume, the median listing price versus listing volume. I can see the population of children. I can see the number of toddlers. All of this great census data is available to you within RPR. Now, what I did is I went into all of Bucks County, but let's say that's a little bit of a big range. And I just want to type in a specific zip code. So I've chosen 18966. I'm going to type in a zip code, Southampton, Pennsylvania. I've been spending some time researching that market all the way down here from Florida. And I have been able to find out a whole bunch of information about this zip code. So if I click on it, and before I do that, I want to go in and type. Instead of having it say exact, I want to go and change that to within. Let me take it into within. Exact is going to give you a broader overview of the zip code. But if I click on within, I'm going to get specific search results for this zip code. And now I'm doing a complete neighborhood search. So take a look at this. I've got here a country place at Village. Anybody out there ever familiar with this particular zip code? I have not been to Pennsylvania. I'm embarrassed to say, but in my research, it seems like a really beautiful, beautiful place to be. Jessica, you live there? Well, then perfect. Your office is here. Okay, so we're good to know. We've got a zip code that's somewhat relatable. All right, so if I click on that zip code, all right, I'm doing a neighborhood search. And I can scroll down and I can see what's happening in all of these different neighborhoods. If I go down here to Beagle Run, I can see the median estimated home value is $528,000. The change, it's up almost 20%. And there are only 44 homes in that neighborhood. I can scroll down here. Here's another one. It looks like a pretty big neighborhood. Bridle Ridge in Village Shires. Looks like 163 homes in that neighborhood. 2 homes are actively currently for sale. And I can see the median estimated home value, $313,000. So do you see how that works? I can get so much data just by running a quick neighborhood search. So if I go back up here to start off with my country place at Village Shires, I see I've got 5 homes for sale. If I click on it, Now the system's going to take a deep dive into that very, very specific neighborhood. Now I'm looking at specifically to this neighborhood here, a country place, and I can see what's going on, the trends, the neighborhoods. I'm going to now compare the inventory, the sales within the Village Shires neighborhood, and then as it pertains to Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and then of course all of the United States. I can go up here. I can take a look at housing. Click on that tab, show you what's going on in here. I can see the median value. I can see the percentage of people that own versus rent. I always think that's important, right? How do you guys go after tenants? Tenants turn into buyers. You want to go in there and find those absentee owner properties. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. But it looks like 24% of this neighborhood are in fact renting. So that could be a potentially great neighborhood for you to spend some time farming, doing some marketing in there. You've got the median listing price versus listing volume, some basic data about the little neighborhood. I can go over here to the people tab and I can get into what's going on. Who's living in this neighborhood? What kind of education level do they have? What kind of jobs do they have? So let's see if this looks like my system's slow, we'll give it a second to pop up. I can also go into the economy. I can see how different industries, what homeowners, what industries that they are working in. And then I can also even dive into the quality of life. Give my system a second. Looks like it's experiencing a little lag time, which is very unusual because we have no weather problems here. All right, so I jumped on over to quality of life and look at this. I can even see the annual rainfall. What do we got? Do we have any snow? Does it ever snow in Pennsylvania? It looks like it does. Travel time to work. This is the quality of life within a neighborhood. So if you want to become what I like to call a hyper local market expert, RPR is a great place for you to go and dive into the data. You can see the average commute time that homeowners are experiencing. How do people get to work? Oh, and the AARP livability index. I love this. Looks like it's got a 52 out of 100. So this is how AARP designates this area for retired folks. Looks like housing affordability and neighborhood, things like that. And then walkability scores. This has got a 0.7. Basically, it's determining how far of a walk are you from local shopping, main streets, things like that. So you can also take a look at the schools in the neighborhood. You can see it looks like the schools are outstanding in that area. You got A+ for a high school and elementary. So how are you going to use all of this? Well, if you're working with a buyer, and they have decided that this is the neighborhood for them. They are really interested in this particular neighborhood. You can dive in and really share all kinds of great information about this neighborhood. Click on the people one more time and see if it will come up. Give it a moment. All right, people and facts. Here's our population information. The median age, 42, male to female ratio. And also the education levels. I mentioned earlier, you've got here the high school graduates, the college degrees, looks like about 36% have at least a bachelor's degree or more. So just data that might help you communicate to your customers if they're interested in making a purchase in that neighborhood. So knowledge is key, knowledge is power. What are you going to bring to the table that your competition is not? If your buyers are looking at this and they've never heard of this neighborhood or they're relocating from out of state, you're going to be the one to provide them with all of this great data. So that is how we do a quick neighborhood search. From here, I can go ahead and create a report right from here. Do y'all see that? Create a report. And I can create a neighborhood report right here. If you click over here where it says view sample, I can, that's just what it's going to say. It's going to give me a 10-page sample of what the report's going to look like. Housing stats and charts. It's going to give me neighborhood statistics, or I can just scroll over and decide what I want to include in my neighborhood report. So imagine you're with a customer and they're getting ready to make an offer, and you show up with all of this data summarizing the neighborhood that they're getting ready to make an offer in. They are going to be completely impressed with your amount of effort that you've put into this. One thing I always like to include on any of the reports, you always have this option of the About RPR page. Let me go out of here and just show you what that looks like. If I click on the little plus sign, this is where you can customize your reports. You can either upload a resume. How do you do that? You can go ahead and go over to the the right here and just manage custom pages. If you want to include your resume or your customer testimonials or anything else, maybe your past sales, you can just add a custom page. So super easy to add a custom page. I've got my resume, client testimonials, and then these report elements. You've got many to choose from. There's about 10 pages. You can exclude or include whichever ones you would like. Just wanted you to know that you have the option to include custom pages on our neighborhood report. Now, when I go down here and I run my report, it's going to take a little while. So I've already gone ahead and done that in advance. I'll go up to my report section and I'm going to scroll down to my neighborhood report. And if I go to the very top, where is my neighborhood report? Looks like it didn't pop up. So let's just go back out. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Create my report. And we're going to go and run it. And when it's ready, it'll come on up. So maybe I didn't save it earlier. All right. So that's one thing that you can do within the RPR site. You can go ahead and generate reports, not just for neighborhoods, but we'll look at all of these different options you have for reports. You've got a property report, a seller's report. That is phenomenal if you are going on a listing presentation. You can do a full CMA market analysis in the report section under seller's report. You can also create a property flyer. Now, how does the property flyer help you? Let's use a scenario. You just got a brand new listing and you want to go ahead and do maybe an open house, or you're going to have flyers ready for your showings. You can create property flyers from any inventory. Now, I don't have any listings because I'm a trainer now, no longer practicing real estate, but I think the property flyers are beautiful when you go in. Oops, there's my neighborhood report. Let's take a look at it real quick. We'll go back one step. And this is what my neighborhood report is going to look like. There's my resume. If you notice here, this was the zip code that I ran that neighborhood report in. And then it's going to talk about the specifics of the neighborhood that I was doing some research in. So what do you guys think about that? Neighborhood reports, something that you might be interested in presenting to your customers? Absolutely, yes. Okay, so let's go back out to our property flyer report. Let's go back out here. This is an example of a property flyer that I made just by going into one of somebody else's active listings. Remember, you're going to customize it with your photo, your email information, your contact information. But this is a great, simple way for you to create a custom flyer. Maybe if you're doing an open house, or maybe you're showing the property and you want it to all be with your information on there, you can go ahead and create a property flyer. All right, so let's get back out here. We talked a little bit about reports and we did a little bit of research in our neighborhood. We did a little neighborhood search. Now I want to show you how to search expired listings, right? We've got to go out there and get creative. We've got to find inventory because we are in a low inventory market. So how do we find expired listings? And I'm going to show you a couple of tips. Let's go back to our home and we're going to go ahead and search. Now, let's say, again, I want to go in and I'm going to stick to my zip code one. Now I'm going to go to Bucks County. Let's go to Bucks County. It gives me a better view. I clicked on Bucks County and you can see on the map, these are all of the properties that are actively for sale within Bucks County. But I'm going over here and I'm going to look at canceled, expired, or withdrawn inventory. Do you see what I did? I changed it and I clicked on withdrawn, canceled, or expired. And I'm going to go into my filters tab. And look at that. I got 310 listings that were either withdrawn, canceled, or expired since August. Now I can change this date if I would like to, but 310, that's an awful lot. So maybe I want to customize this a little bit. And maybe 310, I don't think I need to go that deep into my marketing. So maybe I will zoom in and look at this little southern part of the area. Let's go ahead and draw a little circle around it. There's my freehand. And let's see, I can just draw around. Maybe I'm an expert in this area. I'm just going to draw a circle around this area here. Looks like about 50 square miles. I can search in this area. And now I have inventory that has either been expired, canceled, or withdrawn in the last few months. Now from here, I can go in and I can view all of these properties. Oh, look at this guy here. That's a pretty good looking house. I can select it. I can click right on the address. I can go in, I can say, wow, that is a pretty home. I can go into the actual listing here. I can look at the historical records of this property. And I can also notice here that it looks like it has come off the market as of yesterday. So it's up to you if you want to go in and reach out to this particular homeowner. We've got, again, all of those tabs that we talked about. You can go into the history of this property. You can look at the charts. Let's get back out here though. What I did here is I just did a general sort by price, but I can also sort these by owner's name. If I want to do that, I can click on owner's name. And maybe I want to remove some of these. Maybe I don't want to send a mailing out to all of these different properties. I came up with 72. I can do a grid view. I can look at them in a side-by-side version here. And I say, oh, I really like this one. I want to look at this one. But you'll notice all withdrawn, all canceled. These are all listings that have come off the market. So a great opportunity for you to try to reach out and maybe see if you might be the agent that can help them sell their house. From here, we can look at these on the map, but we already kind of did that. We did a specific drawing on our map. Here, we can go into our mailing labels. Now, if you want to go in and send out a mailing, maybe you want to download your own to your own CRM program. You can just do a CSV layout. You could print them to a PDF. You have some customization options here. You can choose the address property, or you could maybe send it to their tax billing. You want to make sure you want to eliminate duplicates. You can select, have it go directly to the property or to the tax the tax location. It's up to you. You also have the option when addressing this to the owner's name. You could say current resident, owner's name, and or current resident. You can go down here to filter. You can exclude listed properties. That's a good one, right? Look at that, 50. We went from 72 down to 50 once we excluded listed properties. You want to make sure you're not sending postcards to people that have maybe relisted, or perhaps they're on the do not mail list. So you can also exclude properties with incomplete addresses. And then you can just simply click export. So that's just one way that you can go in and attract expired or withdrawn listings. So what do you guys think about that? Is that of any value to you as you're trying to get some potential listings? Because we know listings are like gold right now, right? All right, let's clear this out. Let me go ahead and refresh our page, make sure we're doing okay on time. A couple more things I wanted to show you. Let's just pick on Stanley. Stanley's been so good in my chat today. Stanley's got a buyer. Stanley's like, I cannot find this buyer a house. Help me find them a house. I need to find them a property. Well, Stanley's going to have to get creative, right? Maybe it's just not the active inventory that he's looking for. Maybe Stanley's going to start reaching out to some homeowners that have been in their house a long time. All right. We already know we've got some ways to search expired and withdrawn listings. And those are great because we know that at least since August, those folks have at least made an attempt to sell their property. But let's talk about another way you can go in and find inventory. We can go we can change our status type, and we can go into public records, change that all the way up. And let's see, maybe we want to stick with Bucks County. We'll stay with Bucks County. We've got public records. Watch what I do here. I'm going to change my public records. Now, Stanley's got a buyer who's very specific. They told Stanley, we need at least 4 bedrooms. Now, we're going to just be doing a public record search. We're going to do 4 bedrooms at least. Maybe we want 3 baths. We'll say 3 baths. But we can go, and they said single family. Now, if Stanley's customer wasn't too picky, they would have been happy with a condo or a co-op or any different type. That's okay. You can search all of these different options. But we're just going to say that Stanley's customer is looking for single families, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. But let's get even more specific. I'm going to go into my filters, remove my boundaries here. I'm going to go into my filters. And I'm going to scroll down. You see where my 4 bedroom, 3 bath is all populated. I have the option here of typing in square footage. Maybe Stanley's customer said, I want at least 2,000 square feet. All right, we can make that a criteria. But we can scroll down here and we can look at time of ownership. So take a look at this, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 years. Which one do you think might be the most likely to sell their home? Do you think it would be 0 to 5, 5 to 10? I know some of it's a kind of a tricky scenario because, 0 to 5, people get relocated quickly. Mary says 20 plus, Andrew 20 plus. All right, so the average, according to our most recent data, is really 10 to 15 years. But my point is, you can search any of this. Time owned is important because in most logical scenarios, folks that have been in their properties 10 to 15 years or more are going to be more likely to sell. So I'm just going to go ahead and select 10 to 15 years. I'm going to do a quick update and search. Now, let me show you your keyword search here. And I'm not going to get too far into this one, but maybe Stanley's customer really wants a pool. You can select pool. And if the public record data includes pool information, then only pool homes will come up in our public record search. But for right now, what do we do? And we're looking at 4 bedrooms at least, 3 baths, at least 2,000 square feet, homeowners that have been in their property at least 10 to 15 years. We're going to go ahead and update and search, and it's going to take a moment to retrieve some results. I'm going to say okay. Now, look at how many properties I just found, 1,762. That is a bunch of homes. So how can we condense this? How can we make this a smaller area? We can zoom in. How about this? Watch this. What if my customer says, I want to be within a certain radius of the airport? Watch this tool. I love this. I can go over here to my driving tool and I can do travel time. And I just move my pin to the airport, say next. And maybe my customer wants to be within 40 minutes of the airport. Click on next. And it's going to start populating properties that are within a 40-minute drive of the airport. So there's so many tools within RPR that you can take advantage of. That's just one of them. I love the travel time commute because you can, whether you're working with off-market properties or on-market properties, you can still figure out the travel time for your customers. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Did you all see how I did that? I just went over to my driving tool and clicked on it. And I went in and found properties that were within a 40-minute commute of the airport. So that works with everything. So let's go back out to our public records, do our search again. Let's bring some of those properties back up. Give me a second for it to populate. Well, we may have to just refresh it. How are we doing in the Q&A? Anybody have any significant questions that I could answer for you while we're waiting for my system to come on up? And I can see you guys in the chat. All right. Are we all good there? All right, so now here we are. We're back to our properties. There's our airport. We got rid of that boundary. I just wanted to show you really quick that you could do a drive time search. So if you have a customer that maybe they're going to be working at a specific place, you can go find that place on the map and you can tell them this is what your commute's going to be. Maybe they say, I do not want to drive more than 10 minutes. You can go in and search for inventory, either off market or on market, using the driving tools. All right, so we're looking for off-market properties for Stanley, right? Let's go ahead and do a quick draw. Maybe Stanley's customer has already said, this is the area I want to be in, right over here. Click on my freehand pencil, and I can just go, whoops, I can just clear that out. Try that one more time. Oh, I didn't do that right at all. Let me delete that. Sorry about that. Just draw a little circle around the area that your customers are interested in, and we can go from there. So what do you guys think about that? I'm having some pop-up issues. We're going to head and search this area and find off-market properties that maybe would be a good fit for Stanley's customers. So let's go back out and show you one more time what they're going to look like on the list view. All of these properties now should have been owned 10 to 15 years ago, and they should all be at least 2,000 square feet. We can organize this by, let's say we want to organize this by owner's name, or we can even say living area. And we can go into square footage, and it's obviously showing me the biggest first, but I can change that. I can rearrange that, go from smallest to largest. All right, so what do you guys think? Any questions about that? That is how you're going to go in and search for off-market properties. You're going to go in to your public records. Let's say I'll do it one more time. Let's say I was 18966. Public record data, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. I want to do my filters. I got 294 properties. If I scroll down, they're 2,000 square feet. And I did 10 to 15 years. So that's one fantastic tool. I can go in and look at these on the map if I want to, or I can even condense it. If 294 properties are too many, you can just go ahead and use your drawing tools to zone in on a certain area. Again, I can go ahead and look at them in the grid view. And you'll notice that all of these properties are over 2,000 square feet. They're at least 4 bedrooms or more, 3 baths. But most importantly, they're all off market. So hopefully that's a good tip for you. If you want to go into your mailing labels, you can do that as well. You can just simply, if you want to reach out to all 294 properties, you can do that. You can have a conversation with your customers about maybe which area would be best suited for them. But you have the option here to go under your labels and go ahead and filter these out and get going, sending some mailings out. You can just send one to one person, or you can send them to 294, or you can multi-select, or of course you can go ahead and print. So there you go. That's one way of doing a search for off-market properties. Hopefully that'll help you, Stanley, out there. Let's go ahead and reset this and show you a couple more things that you can do.
Janelle, there's a couple of questions in the chat there.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, great stuff. I'm writing everything. Is there a support call? And yes. So Ernie, thank you for putting that support number in there. Can I draw again? Can you do this by neighborhood and subdivision name? Okay, yeah. The drawing tool was acting a little finicky for me during this presentation, so I'm going to try doing it one more time. Southampton 18966. Remember, we're doing off-market properties. Let's change our to public records. Obviously, it's going to give me over 5,000 properties. I want to condense it a little bit. Let's go to 4 bedrooms or more. And I'm going to get rid of my condos and townhouses. Just look at single families. And guys, don't stress. This is going to be recorded. This is recorded, and you will get an opportunity to review this later. So best for you to just kind of take it all in at this point and see if you can learn some new strategies here. It's hard to follow along real time. So let's go ahead and look at our map view and do a quick search again. All right, so these are off-market properties, and I got a request to draw on my map. One more thing here, if I do this drop down, showing geographies, if I want to condense this into minor neighborhoods, I'm not sure about where you all are at, but where I live, we are in a master planned community with 5,000 homes. And within that master planned community, there are smaller, what we call them villages, but you might want to identify the minor neighborhoods or even the micro neighborhoods in your area. But if I want to draw, notice here, you see these red. If you're ever wondering what these little icons mean, you can always go down to your legend at the bottom right, and it will help you identify that. You've got for sale, you've got for lease, and then you've got distressed properties. And I'm going to show you how to look for distressed properties too in just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and draw on the map, see if this guy will work here. Click on the little pencil. I'm going to go to my freehand. And then I'm just going to eye this Churchville Nature Center. My customer has said they're really interested in this area here. So I'm just going to draw it. And now I'm going to search just in this area. Let's see what I got. All right, so these are the public record information. These are the houses that meet those criteria. These are properties that the homeowner has been in 10 to 15 years. Did I make that a filter? I'm not sure if I set that up or not when I went back in. No, let's do that one more time. 10 to 15 years. And now that the list got a whole bunch shorter. See, now we have 22 properties. So if I click on this property here, let's go with 805. If I go on this beautiful house in 805, I look at the few details. I can open this up. Nelson Drive. I can see it's off market. The RVM, which is the Realtor's value model, the most accurate valuation model available, was updated in 2021. And I can also see that this property was last sold on 2011. So this might be a great home. Maybe it's a good candidate. If your customer is trying to find something and they can't find it because of the inventory and you're getting creative, the basic facts all meet the criteria, then why not go ahead and reach out? And not only that, you can tell your customer, if you reach out to this property, what's the address here? Nelson Drive. Hey, Nelson Drive, your property's value is up over 805 and they paid $575 for it in 2011. So there's lots and lots of cool things that you can do searching for off-market property. Let's go back out to our search results. We should come back to our map. And that's how I drew on the map. I used my little drawing tool and I just identified a really very specific area in which to search. How does that sound? I can also create a report here if I want to on this neighborhood, and I can click on market activity report and I can go ahead and run the report down here at the bottom. And of course you can always view the sample, or you can go to the little plus sign and manage the custom pages. So that is what a market activity report looks like. And that is just one way for you to go in and find some off-market properties. All right, let's get out of here. Go back to our homepage. And let's see, I want to look for distressed properties. So I'm going to stick to Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Click on Bucks County. I'm looking for sales, but I want to go to filters. And I'm going to get rid of all of these. I want to look for distressed properties. So I'm going to go down here to the very bottom and I'm going to look for pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, foreclosed properties. So if you're working with an investor, then the investor says, I'm looking for something that's in foreclosure, we can go ahead and filter those options here. We can go ahead and update and search. And it doesn't look like I'm getting any that are coming up. So let's try looking at our public records. Now, when I change it to public records, I get 306 results. 306 results. Go ahead and click on that. And now, oh, what do I see? All of the red ones. Again, you can use your map tools if you want to just go down into this little area here. I can look at the mailing labels. I can look at them side by side, and I can see what's going on with each individual property. So that's how you could do a quick search for foreclosed properties. Now, did I go too fast? Everybody good there? Yes, Lisa is going to send out a link. So be on the lookout for that. Couple more things I want to talk to you about. Off-market properties, how to identify those potential maybe tenants. Maybe how do we find the tenants that are renting? We saw an area where there was like 37%. Well, we can go in and take a look at our public records data again, go under our filters. Now, this isn't 100% certain that we're going to find, let's do Southampton, that, you know, that these properties that are, what am I trying to say, absentee owners, there is potentially a tenant in there. So we're going to go look for those. Let's look at Southampton 18966 again. We're going to go to our public records. I'm going to clear this out because we're not going to be too picky, because now we're looking for tenants. Tenants turn into buyers. So we could also do it single family and condos. Lots of tenants rent condos. What do I do here? I'm in my public record status. I've identified an area. Click on filters. Now I'm going to go down here to the bottom and I'm going to start looking for absentee owners, right? Because absentee owners, they still own the property, but there is a good chance that those absentee owners might have a tenant in there. So what am I going to do now? I don't need to really change my time owned, but I am going to go ahead and update and search. Give it a moment. All right, look at all of these. These are all absentee owned properties. Looks like we have a few duplicates there, but we can go ahead and look at them on the map. Close that guy out. These are all absentee owners. And I can from here now go to my mailing labels. Certainly, I probably don't want to send 1,300 out, but if you're looking for a smaller area to try to find some tenants that might be interested in buying, going into that absentee owner field can be super, super helpful. Now, we're looking for tenants that are going to be buyers. So you may want to click on current resident, and you may want to send the label to the property address so that the current resident actually gets the information. Now you could send them a buyer's report. You could actually customize a neighborhood report, and you can go ahead and email or mail it to them. You could drop it off, whatever you're comfortable doing. If you have their email address, you can certainly send them an email of your reports. So remember, we're looking at absentee owners. Looks like we have 1,278, and we want to exclude listed properties. That didn't change anything too much. We can go ahead and print. We can download it to the CSV file and then upload it to your CRM. All right. So that's how it works if you're looking for tenants. Now, what if I'm looking for sellers? I'm going to do the opposite here. I'm going to my tax billing. I'm going to go and find those absentee owners, and I'm going to find where they're getting their tax bill. I'm going to go ahead and address it to the owner's name. And I'm going to go ahead and click print. So that is how you just do it in reverse, right? So if you're looking for tenants, what did I do? I went into public records. I selected single family and condos. I went into my filters tab, 1,374. And I went down here to the bottom and I made sure I had my absentee owner set. So that's how, you know, you might want to reach out to those absentee owners and say, hey, would you be interested in selling? Let's take a look at one real quick. Close this guy out. Looks like I'm getting a whole bunch of options here. I'll use my drawing freehand tool, and I'm just going to come down here and draw this little area. And I'm either looking for tenants or I'm looking for sellers. If I click on search in this area, I've got some absentee owners. Let's click on this guy here. I'm just doing it randomly. This one's 397,320. View my full details of this property. And looks like the RVM was updated on 2021. Absentee owner, let's see if it shows me where they live. It's in a trust. You may want to go in and find, let's go down to the very bottom And there's the address. Look at this. This fellow lives in New Jersey. He's not living there. He's not in Pennsylvania. So he may be a perfect person to reach out to try to get him to sell. Maybe he doesn't even realize that his property value is up to $397,000. Your job would be to inform him, let him know. So that's how you find off-market properties. You can use that for either tenants or potential sellers. All right, so we are almost at the top of the hour. A couple more things I want to show you. That particular house, let's go back down to our Southampton. How do you stay in touch with your customers for life? This is very, very important to me. The worst thing you can do in real estate, sell someone a home, and then they list it 5 years later with another agent. And usually they do that because you didn't stay in touch with them. So how do you stay in touch with your customers for life? You got lots of options. You can communicate with them via email or mails, cards, whatever you want to do. But the most important thing I think you can do for your customers after you've closed is stay connected with them and give them information relevant to their property. So let's say, for instance, we'll scroll on down here. We'll go down here to the Southampton Tennis Club, and we've got, looks like Mr. Shu. Mr. Shu bought this house. Take a look at it. 404,270 is the refined value. It sold 2019 for 309. So let's just say, for instance, we got an agent who has sold this property. Stay in touch with your customer. Make sure that you're sending them reports. We can go ahead and customize our reports any way you'd like. We can go over here. We can narrate. So let's say Cushmore Road. I can click on this little map, and I can see all of the RVM, all of the realtor's value model pricing alongside the road that the subject property is in. But from here, I can go in and create a report. And let's say I want to create a seller's report, right? Just somebody that you want to stay connected with. You have all of these different options. But if I select seller's report, I've got 81 pages to choose from. That's an awful lot. I may want to go down here and condense this a little bit. But at the very, very bottom, when I click run report, it's going to go ahead and run a report for me on this subject property. And when I go back up here, let's go back up to my reporting, close that guy out. It's going to be stored under my reports. And here's an example of a seller's report. If I want to personalize this report, or I want to email to my customer, I want to make sure I stay connected with them, whether it's once a month, every 90 days, you can go ahead and email them a customized seller's report. Now you can also email them a neighborhood report based on how the neighborhood's doing, what are the demographics, what's happening in their market. You have lots and lots of options for your seller's report. The other thing you can do in your reports is, let's say you've got a brand new listing. I remember we created that property flyer a little bit earlier. If I go here, I can post it on Facebook, social media. I can do all kinds of interesting things. I can download it. I can mail it. I can drop it off. Anything you like. You got lots and lots of great options under reports. All right. I believe we are at the top of the hour. So let me know how you guys are doing in the chat. And I'm going to come back on and just make sure we don't have any additional questions. Are we doing okay, Ernie? How are we doing out there? I know we covered a whole bunch of information today. If there are any last minute questions that I can answer, I'm happy to do so. Lisa, are you good? Do you have any questions?
No, good. I think Ernie was able to ask you the questions that had come in the chat. So thank you.
Awesome. And so just to go back to our PowerPoint real quick, show you that you've got some, the phone number. I think Ernie, you already went ahead and popped in to the customer service line, correct? Let's go ahead and get this out of here. But just in case, if you need additional help on your login page, you can just click on the help button. Also, please join us for additional classes. We offer national webinars. If you click on learn at the top, you can scroll down and go to view more ways to learn. And I'm going to finish up the class today and just show you that you have lots and lots of other webinars that you can join us for today. This one was obviously specific to Bucks County and your area. So thank you guys so much. I hope you'll join us for more classes, whether you're an appraiser or you're interested in getting more information on commercial, or we offer a great class on building a CMA. In fact, I think we offer one tomorrow. So that's a great opportunity. Andrew, thank you for your kind feedback. I know we covered a lot. We had lots and lots to go over in such a short time. So join us for more classes. Take advantage of the many tools in RPR. Lots and lots of printables that you can actually go to. You've got some worksheets and flyers that you can create. So hopefully you'll take advantage of RPR and all of the amazing benefits that are included. So that's it for me, folks. Thank you for joining me today. Congrats on your Eagles win yesterday. Tom Brady did not, we didn't have the same luck down here in Tampa, but congrats to you all. Have a great week. Happy Monday and have a beautiful week. I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar now. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Janelle. Thanks. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.